ATS presents the Realty Debate, powered by Tata Capital, with Manisha Natarajan.
Hello and welcome to the Realty Debate. We are coming to the close of 2015 and entering a brand new year with the hopes of a revival in the real estate markets. And for this, we'll be going to each of the big cities of India to bring you the mood of the city's realty. Starting with perhaps one of India's most loved cities, Pune. From retired people to young students to IT professionals to industrialists, this city seems to have something for everybody. I met up with the city's leading developers at one of the most marquee or luxurious addresses of Pune, that's U Pune by Philippe Stark, right next to Pune's first township, which actually changed or revolutionized the way townships or township business is done in India, the Magarpatta city. Let's go across to Pune. My panel today, of course, the three people or the three companies which have changed or redefined Pune's landscape. Let me introduce to you Satish Magar, Chairman of Magarpatta City. Also with me, Atul Chodia, the man known for luxury and super luxury, Panchil Realty. And of course, Kruti Jain, Director of Kumar Urban Development. All right, 2015, we'll start from there and go on to 2016 and see how the trends have been. Mr. Magar, first question to you. It has been a difficult year across the country, but Pune has been a little bit more resilient. Are you happy that we are at the end of it?
Yeah, somewhat, yes. We are happy because there was a lot of strain. The market was tough. The situations were not so good, but we are seeing a turnaround now. And I think it's a good sign that the whole past is gone and we're looking for a new future now.
Why do you think Pune could withstand a little bit better than the rest of India, Mr. Chodia?
Pune is the key driving factors of Pune city is IT, manufacturing, and Pune is an education hub also. And Pune has done substantially good over the last 3 years in IT sector. It has been about 3.5 million square feet of market, and consistently it has done well. So that has generated a lot of jobs. In turn, the housing demand.
So you're saying the face of Pune itself is changing? It's becoming, maybe giving Bangalore a competition or getting there? No, not
Bangalore
yet.
is much bigger market, but Pune is going that way for sure. In Maharashtra, it's very close to Bombay. The infrastructure is getting better, and Pune is a very, very young city. It's like Bangalore. There's a lot of universities, colleges, schools, and of course, a very good nightlife into this city, which is one of the key factors for which the even IT
Talking about
companies
nightlife, maybe I should come to the younger people who enjoy the nightlife a little bit here, with of course all the hard work that they do. I believe Kruti is one of the most hardworking people in the team of Kumar Urban Development. But Kruti, I mean, just sum up 2015 for us and tell us, I mean, did you feel that there was a lot of supply in the market? That was perhaps the reason, or was it supply in the wrong segment across India and in Pune as well?
So first of all, I'm not the most hardworking. I think my team works much harder than me, and my father yet works much harder than me. But coming to your question, I think over the last year, trend wasn't clear. We've now started seeing that trend become very clear in terms of which bracket people want to buy in, what are their salaries, are they secure in their jobs or not. Disruption across industry definitely affected the aspiration levels of individuals in terms of what kind of housing that they want to buy and whether they want to settle down with that decision. So one major trend that we saw was that people who used to buy, and this was a very predominant trend, from 26 years to say 30, 31, and that has changed. We've seen that change over the year. It's become 32 plus, going up to 45 and so on and so forth. And
so are you saying that the younger buyers have got driven out of the market?
Not driven out, the percentage has definitely changed, and it has fallen. And the reason for that also is the aspiration level of today's consumer. Today's client does not want to compromise on the family's, if I may say so, social standing or social requirements, and that's one of the reasons why the gadgets and all the other electronic business.
Taking away your business, right?
Not taking away
Might
our
as well
business.
buy a big iPhone and spend 60,000, why pay an EMI, right?
Exactly, because you don't want to
Interesting trend.
deprive them of that decision. And besides that, Pune definitely over the year has not fallen, and this is the 45,000 units that Pune does consistently has happened even this year. And the reason for that is this is not a speculative market. You'll see that the launches were quite bare minimum. The reason for that is environment clearance and other approval delays. And that is why, though there could be an oversupply or a sense of oversupply because of a nationwide depreciating inflationary trend, which delays decision, and that's a very normal thing. Because of that low sentiment,
you've lost me. I don't know about the viewer. Okay, I get it. You're saying that there is perhaps might be some amount of oversupply, but not as much as it has been in other markets. So let me come to something which Pune has literally made a mark in, and of course. You could be titled as one of the beginning or how would I term it, you know, people who go, the pioneers of, thank you Kriti, the pioneers of townships in the country. Do you think that this whole trend of having large townships, you're building your third one, is here to sustain, and will there be so much demand in 2016 to absorb all that inventory which is coming up?
No, I think townships are going to be the way future, because the infrastructure which gets created, the facilities which are all at the walking distance, the environment, services, security, all this is what people are looking at, and fortunately for Pune, a lot of townships are happening. Most of these townships, or probably all of these townships, are the economic growth driver. So IT is a part of most of these townships, or the IT is in the surrounding,
but
or in the neighborhood.
Mr. Magar, hold your thought there. I do want to ask you, if I look at the Cushman report, which looks at the office space absorption, what it says is that unfortunately for Pune, there is demand, but now there isn't enough grade A IT space, because a lot of developers changed their plans in 2011 and 12 for developing from IT, SEZs, they actually turned them to residential projects. Do you think that could come back and bite Pune's growth?
No, I don't think so, because see, predominantly IT was developed by 4 or 5 people in Pune. Then a lot more ventured into it.
Smaller players came in.
Not smaller players, even larger players ventured into
Okay.
it. But doing IT is something different. It is not like doing residential buildings. I mean, with due respect to all the other developers.
Do you wish you had done more IT, looking at the demand today?
I'm still doing. I mean,
But done more?
I think we are doing in the right proportion which is required, because there is so much investment which you have to do upfront. It also has to be absorbed. It's very easy to say, see that Pune lost this client, Pune lost that client. It's okay, but still there is a continuous demand. There are the same old people who were there doing in the early 2000 are still doing now. I think they will again keep on doing, and I don't think we should take the Cushman report. We should take it seriously, but we should not take it by the heart.
All right.
I think
they need to talk about something. So okay, developers should have done. Maybe 3 years later they'll say, oh, but developers did too much of IT. Atul Jodia, the two things that we've seen in 2015 in Pune's market, especially around Diwali when sales revived, was that a lot of demand came back in budget homes. But Pune is also a big address for super luxury, thanks to you and your company. Was 2015 particularly bad for super luxury, and how do you think it will pan out in 2016?
I have always been doing the most expensive apartments into this city. What we saw, the trend in 2015 was up to 2.5 crore a unit was selling quite comfortably in the beginning of 2015. But anything above 5 crore to 15 crore was not selling at all. But I see this change trending from next year, and much better in 2017. Why? Because as the economy grows from 7.4% to 9 and 10%, or maybe double digit, the way it is, the way we see, or way we aspire the economy to grow.
My smile is getting wider looking, hearing that number of 9%.
That's where I feel I'm going to do well. Till that time, my friends are there.
All right, but you don't feel that you would like to change your strategy, I mean, or probably recalibrate the super luxury strategy for Pune's market?
No, I'm very consistent in my brand, with my brand. I'm into one segment, I don't produce too much, but I want to stick to what I'm doing the best at, what I do the best at.
So your customer still comes from
My
Mainly
customers are still
Mumbai?
HNIs from Pune, 50 to 60%. Rest are investors from all over the world, NRI market. We are one of the largest to service NRI market.
And they all are looking at Pune for super luxury. Okay, so let's hope that if not to 2016, 2017 at least, you will see full-fledged demand coming back. Kruti, 2 townships, that's what you're developing currently. What are the price brackets? Where do you think demand in 2016 will settle in? Will it be that sweet spot of 50 lakhs, which now all developers seem to have realized, and which you also said in your first answer? Is that the market that you will recalibrate your product offering to?
So townships obviously have a mass housing, an affordable segment. So definitely 50 lakhs to 70 lakhs is the bracket that major demand you will see going forward also. But having said that, Pune being a township city and having all the infrastructure within that township is what gets the consumer. It's because of that long-term plan that they're able to suddenly do, and whether it be education, whether it be parents' health, whether it be their own health, all of that gets planned in. And I think 2015 in Pune will only see this trend grow and more appreciation because the infrastructure is far superior and you have more guarantees, whether it be water, whether it be other infrastructures, which otherwise in a public project you might not have.
So are you going to launch from 50 lakhs to 1.5, or what would be the price? Where would your focus be, or are you saying in a township, what would the range of your product offering be?
In a township, the range of our product goes from 1 to 2.5 to 3 BHK primarily.
She's still not come down to 50 lakhs.
You will have
is it
all the
because it's
segments.
very hard, Mr. Magar? Is it very hard to build those products?
There are 2
50
things
lakh
in this.
or do you have to go too outside of the city?
The affordable segment, what we think and what we talk about is something which is 5 lakhs, 10 lakhs, 15 lakhs. That's a different market by itself.
Let's use the terminology of budget, because
Yeah.
I think affordable is wrong. It's sub 25 or sub 30.
If you take the budget homes, then I would still say a 1-bedroom house from 2-3 bedroom, like what Kruti said, ranging from 45 lakhs to about 1 crore of rupees is a good price band to work in a township.
And there's enough demand for it.
There is substantial.
Will prices go up, Kruti? Will prices go up? Because if I look at the trend, Pune was one market which right up to 2014, because we do a daily show, held up to double-digit numbers. In 2015, that number, as I have just looked before this discussion, have all moved to 8 and 9%. So really 2015 has been pretty much stagnant, and that's the reason why your past returns have got moderated. Do you think that this is the sort of expectation one should have for the next 3 years?
Yes. So not 3 years. Let me start by saying that the average price if the city, including townships, goes around 3,500 to 3,600 in this particular segment. And that particular price has not changed substantially. I agree with your number of say 9 to 12% is the average appreciation of the city. Obviously there will be projects that will outperform. That will always be the case. But it's very interesting to note that in the past, Pune's average as a city was 28%. And though the prices have not...
Where is that data from? 28%?
For each project, from the launch price to the completion.
So it could be 3 to 4 years, so that would...
3 years.
I get that.
3 years, that a life cycle of a project, the average of a developer would be 28% plus. While that trend of appreciation might get delayed, it's not going to be stagnant for a very long time, because we will see interest rates come down, we will see people getting more secure in their jobs, and the minute that happens, you will see a lot more demand coming into the market together, because there are a lot of fence sitters right now, and that's because of the inflation.
Because of the media role where we keep saying there's too much supply, all right.
Low sentiment. Let's write it off to low sentiment.
Okay, culprits is media. But having said that, do you feel that there's a lot of supply, which will take some time? Because you've been in this business, I mean, you've got a very deep understanding.
I don't think there's a lot of supply. Yes, there is, what you call a disproportionate supply, where some couple of years back, the high value segment was there. Not the high value like your Pune, but the middle high value segment was there.
The premium segment.
The premium
yeah.
segment, which is not having those many takers as of now. But if you look at the premium segment and if you look at the middle class segment, budget segment, I don't think there's a problem. And there is no oversupply.
What about pricing, Mr. Magar? Do you feel that it is okay for prices to actually moderate because that kind of makes homes more affordable?
It all
for
depends
middle class?
upon how the government is going to behave. See, real estate is become, when I was young, every time the budget used to be announced, there were two taxes which used to go up, on taxes on cigarettes and taxes on liquor. Now I think the third thing, those two have gone, now real estate has come. So you want to make money, you want the state deficit to go off. What you do, tax the the real estate. I think that needs to change because the elasticity of taxation on real estate needs to be seriously looked into.
Are you saying then, which a lot of developers are saying, that there is no room for developers to bring down prices?
Yeah, because 30-35% if the government is going to take away and then there's a cost of construction and there's a cost of raw material like cement and steel which nobody can control, from where do you control?
Have the margins come down dramatically?
See,
or little
margins
bit?
have definitely come down because developers could not raise the prices. So it may be oversupply or whatever it is. And developers have increased their quality also to be competitive. So they have increased the construction cost and not increased the prices. If you see all the new products, what you would see 5 years before or 10 years back, the new products are so beautiful. Developers are throwing in kitchens, air conditioning system, false ceiling. Plus the government have changed a lot of rules in between. So there have been made a lot of things compulsory like NBC rules, like you have to give firefighting system, you have to give fire doors. So all that has added to the cost of construction, but the prices have remained stagnant for last 2 years.
And that itself is if you look at inflation adjusted, that is actually a price fall. Kriti, you will read in media, and I must say that we don't do that, on this big question on who will blink first. I think we are ending 2015 with that big question. Everybody is saying if there is supply, if prices aren't going up, if house sales aren't picking up, then who's going to blink first? Is it the buyer who's going to come back into the market or the developer who's going to actually be, though they have already reduced prices, passed on a lot of discounts, but they would have to bring down prices more. Is there a solid counter argument to why prices cannot go down more?
Yes.
Or do you think that they will blink, some will blink?
So, first let me say the party who should be blinking is the government, who does not play any role in this whole discussion. But that being said, projects which do not have infrastructure support definitely would have already blinked if they had to. And if they haven't yet, then the developer will have to sustain that period, and I think they have the last year. And consumers will have to recognize that prices that have gone up have consistently gone up. While aluminium might have gone down as a raw material, the rest of it hasn't. Copper hasn't, steel hasn't, cement hasn't. All of that has only increased. While those might be the raw materials, all the other costs that a real estate developer has to bear, whether it be taxes, whether it be the ready reckoner prices, whether it be the corporation premiums, have only consistently gone up. And post-Jan will further be escalated. I think they will also, we should discuss the point of GST and how that will take.
I think I would, yes, absolutely. I'm glad you mentioned that point. I think we are going to take a very quick short break because coming back, I think the headwinds, we've talked about hope. We've said, look, 2016, buyers should come back because the economy should get better. And with interest rates, a couple of more cycles happening, should be a big trigger for buyers to come back. But there is a big headwind in terms of GST specifically for housing, and the panel here will discuss it. I'm in Pune at Pune, which is one of the key marquee projects of this city and right next to Magarpata city. So it's a great day to be discussing Pune's real estate and what lies in store for 2016. Stay with me. I'll be back in just a moment.